In John 16, verse 33, Christ commands us to be of good cheer. And have you ever thought of that as a commandment? He says, be of good cheer, Before that, he says, I have tribulations, but I've overcome these. Be of good cheer. And have you ever read that and kind of felt overwhelmed? Like, it's hard to be of good cheer all the time. Like, you don't understand what I'm going through right now or what's going on. And so I thought about this, be of good cheer. And if you think of it as a commandment, you go, well, okay, how do I do that? How do I be of good cheer? I remember thinking this when my late husband was dying and I'm watching him, just before my eyes and it's be of good cheer. And I'm thinking, how could I possibly be of good cheer when my husband's dying right before my eyes? But then I realized I was so full of gratitude to so many people who were helping me that the gratitude I had just, I know it sounds strange, but it took away my, it didn't necessarily take away my sadness, but it just, gratitude is a power that is hard to explain. Those with a grateful heart, you can spot them. They're surprisingly a little bit happier, a little more joyful. My daughter is on a mission trip in Mexico right now, and she is out where there's dirt roads, she says, stray dogs, and my daughter does like nice things. And has had a very comfortable life. And we get these pictures from Mexico, and she is so happy and smiling. And she's so grateful. She's grateful for her Savior because she's studying the scriptures all the time. And she's grateful for what she has back home. Not that she's dwelling on having to wash her clothes by hand or, having to buy water just to drink because the water's so bad. She's not focusing on those things. She's focusing on others and serving them and focusing on Christ through the scriptures. And so you see these pictures and she just radiates joy. Now, granted, Ellie can have fun literally anywhere. She is a ball of just fun, which can be a little exhausting, but she's also a very, very grateful human. And so you hear be of good cheer. Now, again, I've talked about my depression and how that is hard. And sometimes I can't do it, with depression and anxiety, that I need help with that. So I'm not saying, being grateful takes away everything. So that's not what I'm saying, but being grateful does help. It truly does help. And so I was coming across, kind of like a talk that I heard it on a podcast. And they talked about just things to choose to be happy, choose joy, be of good cheer. And I loved what he gave, 5 steps to just try doing these things. Just try doing and see what happens. So the first one is smile more often. And that's one thing I hate about a mask. That's one thing, and I've talked about this, is being able to smile at people. But they can definitely see it in your eyes. Smile with your eyes. Is that a new phrase that, well, I've been saying it to certain kids for a long time because they would smile like this and I'd have to say smile with your eyes. But smiling more often. I remember one time, and not that, but I was in Paris, and I was with my friend Florence, and she's from Belgium. But so we were walking around, and I said, "How come everybody's staring at us?" And she said, well, her first response was I was wearing bright pink, which again is, but she said, "Because you keep smiling at everybody." And I'm like, well, that's just what I do, because I was happy. I was there. The weather was nice. The sun was out. I was with someone who spoke French. So I was happy. And so smiling, try to smile more often. Smile at the car next to you. I don't know, just smile. It's so nice when you see a good smile. You can't help but smile back. Typically, you can't. The second one is expressing gratitude. And I've already talked about that. But if you're trying to wonder where to express gratitude, I remember when my late husband Rob was sick, I remember the only gratitude I could find this one day was that it didn't rain. It wasn't raining, because I was in Portland, Oregon, where it rains a lot. And I remember being so thankful that it wasn't raining, because having to deal with his wheelchair and getting it in and out of the car, I knew if it was raining, I would have gotten mud all over me. And I remember that day specifically just being thankful that it didn't rain. But every day, you're thankful. I'm thankful I got up today. I'm thankful, express gratitude. Express gratitude to your children. Express gratitude to your parents. There are so many ways, to your spouse, to your friends, to your neighbors. There's so many different ways you can express gratitude. And the third one is looking for and praising the good in others. Again, I've talked about this. If I see a cute dress or someone looks good, I'm like, that is a very cute dress. I don't care where I am. I don't care if they want to talk to me or not. Hearing something like that from a complete stranger, it makes your day. And withholding a compliment can be prideful. Have you ever thought of that? That if you withhold a compliment, that's kind of being prideful. And so give a compliment. Look for the good. And, if you're like, that's so superficial, how about you look for the good in, wow, great job in doing this. Or, someone's checking you out the store. Thank you for doing that so fast, or thank you for having patience. Just looking for the good in others is you're not looking at yourself. Look for the good in your spouse or your significant other. If you look for the good and focus on the good instead of the bad, it's amazing. It's amazing what you'll see. You'll see just so much. One of the things we do on a birthday is when we're sitting around the table at someone's birthday, they get to either pick the meal, and then we all go around and say one thing that we love or we appreciate about that person. And it's fun to hear the different things we say. It's so great, because I'm shocked at some of the things my children say that I was like, oh, you're right, they do that. And how good it is for the person to hear that from their siblings, where siblings fight all the time. So looking and then praising the good in others is another way so we can choose happiness. The fourth one is welcoming a newcomer. So whether you're at work, there's different places you'll be, and maybe sometimes everybody's new, like if you're at a conference, but making people just looking for that person who needs, I don't know, some insight or some help, or just, welcoming a newcomer is huge. It's huge. It goes a long ways. Have you ever been somewhere and walked in and being like, I don't know a soul? And just feeling so self-conscious. And how great it felt for someone to come up and say hello or welcome you. It makes a big difference. It really does. And the fifth and final one is reaching out to those who need a friend. Especially these last couple of years, reaching out to those who need somebody, who needs a quick text, or maybe a letter in the mail. I love getting letters in the mail. Doing that means so much. You can, in your prayers, you can ask, who needs my help today? Or who can I just look out for? A friend of mine, it's funny because I'm really good friends with the mom, but her daughter, she lives by me. And so the mom had said that they had been sick and all these things. And so I reached out because her daughter lives by me, and I said, hey, how, does your family need anything? How are you feeling? And she just appreciated that someone noticed. Because a lot of times we are, and I'm guilty of this in my own world. I have a million places I need to be. I have a million children I'm responsible for. And so I just get kind of caught up in my own family. And yes, we should, help our family. But just knowing who needs a friend today and reach out to that person. I've had that happen to me countless times where I felt so lonely or just a day when I just needed to know that someone remembered me. And I've had that. I've had where someone's reached out or sent me a text. So those are 5 things you can do that I don't want to guarantee, but I can almost guarantee because I've seen it work in my lives, that will help you choose happiness because you're choosing to do these. I'll go over them again. Smile often, express gratitude, looking for and praising the good in others, welcoming a newcomer, and reaching out to those who need a friend. I hope that these are easy things that you can do. Pick one, just pick one, and see how your day goes. Because Christ has asked us to be of good cheer. And this is one way we can do that. I hope this helps you. Remember, look for the sun, even on those dark days. Thanks. Thank you so much for watching or listening to my podcast. You can find more podcast or videos at perfectlypattytalks.com, or you can search me up on Facebook or Instagram at Perfectly Patty. Thanks again.